Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Sober Swole podcast. It is a sober truth episode. I'm Jake Howard.
And I go by the Grand Chameleon, aka DJ Swirl.
DJ Swole.
Oh, I did hit the wrong button. I'll take it though. It's fine.
Yeah, it works. Before we get started, I'll get rocking and rolling into some things here. Like a shout out to Gorilla Gains. That's gorilla-gains.com. The Gains is with a Z. They are an apparel company that you can wear comfortably in and out of the gym, and they also make great equipment that helps keep you safe while you train. Use the discount code JAKE15 to save you 15% on your entire order. My next shout out will be to Royalty Nutrition, royaltynutrition.com, and to help me out with that is Warhorse.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Royalty Nutrition, a veteran-owned and operated supplement company that does not promise you any bullshit. They automatically do not go to the cheapest ingredient when they're making their formulas and stuff that is literally meant for royalty. Claim your throne with Royalty Nutrition. Use the discount code 37HAKE to save you 15% on your entire order. Rolling into FitOps, the FitOps Foundation. You can check them out at fitops.org. They are a not-for-profit organization that helps veterans rediscover their purpose after their service to the nation through not just becoming a personal trainer, but a highly qualified personal trainer with the title of Certified Veteran Fitness Operative. And it's okay. Even if fitness doesn't work out, you are also taught tools that help you deal with civilian life. Check them out. If you're looking for a great not-for-profit to donate to, it's fitops.org/donate. My last shout out of the evening will be Buy to Buy. Buy to Buy is a delivery company that will help, that delivers your furniture or whatever household, furniture.
Oh man.
not groceries, furniture. So if you're in the Arizona Valley, check them out. It's buytobuy.com. And also, the other side of the business is Buy to Buy Studios. If you are looking to stream or start your own podcast, hit up Buy to Buy Studios and get a hold of the Grand Chameleon, aka DJ Swirl, and see what he can do for you. Without him, this show would not be possible. So, thanks, buddy.
Thank you guys. Or you tonight, but yeah, you guys in general.
I thought you were talking about my other personalities.
Well, I mean, that's on a case by case scenario.
Man,
Oh, so Paul is not here tonight.
Paul is not here tonight.
Not because of Paul. Paul is not here because his lady has some family situation going on, and so he's there to be by her side while she goes through some life stuff. So he proactively let us know his situation, which, where's this applause button at? Yes, sir. Thank you, Paul, for not only communicating with us, but letting us know ahead of time that you would not be on the show tonight.
In a timely manner.
Yes, a very time. Again, where's this button? Let me hit it again. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you for the heads up.
Well, he's not ever going to see this. He didn't watch the shows back, so that's
true.
All right.
That is correct.
Yeah. But at least someone can tell him.
Oh boy, I don't know. I'm assuming he has not watched any episodes. Unless,
he did.
Unless he made it a point to say he ought to or whatever. But
he did I don't know. I'm going to say it's about a year and a half ago at this point. I know that. But, yeah, usually the only person watching them back is just little old me. Woe is old Jake.
Bullshit. I definitely watch him back.
Oh, woe is me.
I definitely watch him back. No, I went to lunch.
I carry the show on my back. It's so heavy.
No, I was talking to Colleen about that earlier today. We went to lunch, and she was like, "So, in terms of sobriety, how does that work if you guys aren't completely sober?" And I said, "Well, I think that there's a spectrum when it comes to sobriety. I was watching the show Hacks on HBO.
Mhm.
It is very funny.
I've heard good things.
It is an entertaining show. I kind of saw it while I was watching another show. I think I watched another series before that. The Emmys came out, and I saw they were getting rewarded, and so I said, okay, I'll definitely check out the show. It has exceeded all of my expectations, which I didn't really have any, but um, for the headliner to be a 70-year-old woman, um, and for the ensemble cast to work the way it does, and for the depth of the shit, like the character development and you getting caught up in the subtleties of their relationships and stuff, man, it's the writing is fantastic. It's really good. I posted about it. I was like, recommend the show Hacks to any of your friends or family who think that women aren't funny in general. Because my brother is definitely one of those who's like, I watch shows and like they'll have comedians or whatever, and some of them are funny. Like I think he said Sarah Silverman and a couple other choice ones, but like only the ones that you should know on a first name basis. He couldn't talk about anybody else. I'm like, man, there's some writers, there's some people who are really funny out there, and some of them it's a shtick and it's not necessarily your cup of tea. But this show is just it's funny. Like it's just all around. It's good. It's done well.
So I wouldn't necessarily say that all women aren't funny. It's I think Ali Wong is great,
Yeah, she's funny.
um, but my Joan Rivers was the fucking goat.
She's hilarious. Betty White is someone who is underrated in terms
Yep.
of her comedic. Her timing, dude. And she was a little.
Well,
She was a little. She was a little. She was a little dime piece apparently back in the day.
oh, dude, have you ever looked at old
Yeah,
pictures of Betty White?
yeah. So
Oh,
not only was she ahead of her time, but she took chances
mm-hmm.
like big time. So but yeah, the show Hacks kind of, I don't know if it's loosely based on her or if influenced in some sort, but it's about women who didn't get their just due in their prime, and the society, how they have to navigate through that, and how people, especially how they're perceived, um, when they have an attachment to a successful man, and that's part of the whole premise. But no, so we were talking about at lunch about sobriety, and on that show,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the main character's daughter is like has gone through like 3 decades worth of therapy because of her relationship with her mom, and so they're like talking about the protagonist and the daughter are talking about something there, and they're getting along and they're relating when they didn't think they would, and so she winds up going to a conference with her and then like helps her sell some of her stuff, and so she's like, we need to celebrate, let's go get a drink. And so the lady's like, she's like, whoa, aren't you in rehab? She goes, for powder, not liquid, baby. And so then they get their stuff and they go to the bar. And so I just told her like that, seeing that reminds me of Paul and of other people who find cannabis or something else as a as that, to where it's like they're not, what is it called? What is it called when you just hardcore sober?
Oh, it's
Straight edge?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So but
but
that's
but once you've done drugs or drank, you can never be truly straight edge, bro.
oh, okay. So there you go.
Straight edge is for life.
So yeah.
No, so I actually had a discussion with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about how um, she sees sobriety differently and doesn't understand the backlash she gets from the sobriety community. And I said, I do. So a lot of um, like AA culture and things is it goes back to teetotalers, and that's adult adult males that never drank, and it was just
What
part
is that
of
word again?
teetotaler.
How do you spell that?
It's Toteler.
Okay. And that is the definition of a man who has never drank.
Well, yeah, and it was just so when everyone was out having their drinks or whatever, they would be having their tea,
Gotcha.
and so AA was initially started by. Oh, you'll have to ask as someone who's actually worked the program, but it was two dudes that discovered that they had problems with alcohol, and they gave it up, and they made the 12 steps way back when, a long, long ago, like before prohibition and stuff. And so part of initially was total abstinence from any sort of intoxicant.
Right.
But a lot of people have issues with that because there's people I know that can microdose psilocybin, and it helps them with their mental issues on top of
Their focus,
other cravings
all
and
that.
things,
Yep.
right? And how I see it is because it goes back to yourself, be true. I know for a fact that if I ever drank again, it would collapse everything that I've worked for. This almost 6 years of keeping my head on straight. I know that if I ever did Coke or Molly again, it'd be slightly problematic.
Why only slightly?
Oh, just because because I'd devolve into a monster.
So you're being facetious.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So cannabis.
I don't have an issue with it because I don't like smoking it. And I can treat an edible like a treat.
Very good.
So, and that's what I've done. It's if an edible presents itself, it's
Yeah.
all right. I'm not out searching for or proactively buying pounds and pounds of edibles and
Sure.
going hard.
But just to be able to fall asleep, or to
Yeah.
for body
Or just
pain.
have a really nice afternoon.
Exactly. No, that was the distinction I wanted to make, and I thought it was important that we said it out loud because a lot of things can be all encompassing, to where people just assume that sobriety means that you don't do anything, and I think that it's important to take whatever that veil is off, so that way people can see. Because it doesn't make sense for people to not have vices at all.
Well, and it is okay. That's another thing too. It is okay if you are the type of person that cannot handle anything.
Yeah.
Because when you have an addictive personality, like I do, it's who's to say that one day I trip and fall, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to be high as balls all day.
Yeah.
Just all the weed all the time,
Yep.
But it's like, really, I know for 100% fact that my issues lie in alcohol and fancy white powders.
Yeah.
So I avoid them.
Yep.
I am abstinent from. But a lot of people treat, and I've seen it a lot more in like AA rooms and people that work the program. It's people they like to dick measure in those rooms, right? Like you've heard Paul say, AA war stories.
Yep.
It's all just pee measuring.
So it's Mr. Me Too, or one-upsmanship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you've had it bad, but I had it worse. And then the next guy's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, he does that though when we talk about random things, and everybody does. Everybody does it. But it's like, yeah, the trauma ranking that we do. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Oh, well, I got my foot chopped off. Like, what? You know what I mean? And people do that with great frequency because they, especially like in a situation with AA, like everybody's there because they fucked up. It's like, but I want to be less of a fuck up.
and and I'm not saying that I'm not dogging AA because it's helped a lot of people. It's helped so many people. But it's kind of hard when, let's just say, you realize that you have a problem and you go to one of these meetings and you haven't necessarily had a war story esque life. You go in and you hear all these things. And it's your turn to speak, and you're like, I don't even need to be here. You guys are but you get what I mean. Like
Bro,
I can see where that becomes an issue.
I got a speeding ticket or a traffic light ticket. Sped through the light. And because of Arizona state law, if you don't take the defensive driving course, if you just pay the fine, then they force you to take the defensive driving course. So, because you can take the online course. But I thought you just paid a ticket. I thought it was like any other citation. I got caught, sure, pay the fine, cool. Nope. Got a letter in the mail later and said, okay, here's your defensive driving course. And I'm like, what? So not only did I had to take the course, a lot more money. I was in there with people who had DUIs, who had manslaughter charges because they killed somebody in a vehicle under the influence. Like, I'm in there with these people, and I ran through a fucking red light. Like, it was, yeah. So I don't know if I definitely spoke up, and I was like, hey, man, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
Bro.
And that's what
Okay.
the guy was like. He goes, you did this, didn't you? And I go, yep. He goes, you're in the same boat then. Okay, I guess.
Dude. So I've told you this was years ago when I got arrested on Mill for jaywalking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in order to get this expunged off my record, I had to take this course. So I'm in there in my course, and it's with all these people with their DUIs and things. And I go, so what did you do? And I was like, oh, I was getting in a cab, but I crossed the street at the wrong spot. And they went, what? I said, man,
Yep.
it's good to see all you fucking morons, though. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that it didn't help.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, I trauma response. I don't jaywalk anymore. Period.
Hey. You learn your lesson, dude. That's it.
Well, I spent a night in the holding cell.
Drunk tank, yeah.
Yeah, for crossing the street. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
So what you're saying is that jail does rehabilitate.
Well, and then I was looking back on it, and I was like, man, all of the shit I have done in my life that was straight up illegal.
This is what they get you for.
They got me for jaywalking.
Yeah, man. You got comfortable.
Kind of like how they got my boy Al Capone.
Yeah.
Tax evasion.
Yikes.
Real American hero.
Right.
But yeah, oh man. But anyway, so yeah, meetings. They can be. I can understand why they can be intimidating
Yeah.
because, but I can also see where some would push people away too.
Yeah. I've had family members who I know had substance abuse issues, but I never got any insight on their recovery. It was just always like, oh yeah, he drinks. Oh yeah, they drink. I'm like, okay. And so, of course, every time I saw him was at a social event, so they were sauced up and like, yep, they drink.
It's just what they do.
But there was no
But
mental health. There was no conversation like that. So,
well, see, and that's another thing too. Is especially with the girls, I don't want to. I don't want to be a well. Daddy just drinks. You know,
yep.
I don't, my kids don't need that. I don't want to do that to my kids. Because that'll turn into a why does dad have to be messed up all the time to be around us?
Hey, well,
You know,
sure, but I mean, there's levels of drinking where you're not messed up all the time. You're just a casual drinker. It's
well,
got a
I
casual
don't have
buzz.
I don't have that button.
Right. All or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a all in kind of guy.
Uh,
So, I mean, I wish I had that button, but I just don't. Like, I mean, it's at the point where, they say the demons whisper to you, right? It's at the point now where I bet I could just have one and it'd be okay.
until
And
that
then,
opens the floodgate.
well, I have to remind myself that no, don't even go there
Yeah.
because it'll turn into um, one of those like, look, you did it, congratulations.
I guess I never
Now
really.
more.
I mean, I had my episodes or my situations where I got super drunk and don't remember all the details of a night. I never really got blackout drunk. I definitely drank a lot. I don't I don't remember I don't recall not having a threshold to where my body told me no more. And usually it was my stomach because I got full and I'm like, I don't want to walk around with all this extra just slushing around in my stomach. Like that level of uncomfortability, like that every time I was like, nope, I'm good. And that was the reason why I drank hard liquor to begin with, was because you could drink less of it and get drunk. So,
Well, I was always a puke and rally kind of guy.
oh, god damn.
But there is multiple occasions where I mean, like I'm not saying this to brag because it's not worth bragging about, but like I could just kill bottles and then keep going. And I said, it's not that's not a brag. That was I was crying out for help and didn't know I was crying out for help,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And there was just a bunch of I wouldn't say I was encouraged to keep going, but that was part of the life we were all living at the time too.
You were that guy?
Oh, I was the drunk friend for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I was still saying like about the whole uncle thing at the cookout. You're like, yeah, oh, just Jake. Yeah, he drinks.
Yep.
Hard as hell, but yeah,
Well,
you just say, yeah, he drinks.
just wait. He'll be shirtless here in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Well, that was the so Nate who hops on from time to time.
Yeah.
That's my fucking boy. Um, but we were the shirtless wonders because we couldn't be drinking around each other and not shirtless.
So did you guys do the whole one-upsmanship like that you were talking about in AA? Did you guys do that with alcohol?
Me and Nate, no,
No.
no, no, because this is going to sound braggadocious, but it's not because once again it was a cry for help, and but that no one could keep up with me.
Yeah.
that was it was if you challenged Jake to a drinking contest, you were going to sleep. And yeah, man, so that was I guess people would say I was everyone's gauge.
Oh, okay.
You know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I messed up, but at least I'm not that. You know.
Yeah. I'm not Drake. I'm not Jake drunk.
Hmm.
My wife, she has crazy eyes. So whenever she gets saucy, you can tell her eyes, you know, they get real low, and then she's just like, this, and this is the name that she gave herself. So yeah, haven't seen crazy eyes in quite some time.
Well, good for Colleen.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. That's a good thing.
No, and Britt, she'll enjoy an occasional wine or a beer or something,
Yeah.
here and there, and that's okay. She knows there's most of the time I'm cool with it, and there's times where I'm like, you know,
So do you get triggered, like being around it sometimes? The smell, or
I think that I would rather know.
rather know what? That she's drinking?
Like she's like, hey, I went and got some beers.
Yeah.
And oh, okay. Rather than just opening the fridge and seeing like a lone can of beer. I was like,
Sure. It was weird because even though I've never had a problem with alcohol, like because I stopped drinking by choice, my wife is always like, she still kind of feels weird ordering alcohol when we're out. And I'm like, I hope I've never made you feel like you couldn't order a drink because I don't have a problem. I just don't plan to drink with you. So,
mm-hmm.
and drinking is an awfully social act as well. So
Right.
she
Sorry.
doesn't necessarily want to drink by herself, and I get that. But at the same time, it's
Mhm.
like I don't get the same enjoyment from alcohol that we used to. So I don't need it to have a better time, which is essentially the whole point of doing it, right?
Right.
So
Your social lubricant.
yeah, no, cannabis does just fine by me. So
Mhm.
I'll stick with that.
And I have no problem with people that. Well, see, I worked in that bar forever. Shout out
Right.
to Mavericks Dance Hall. had to fit that in somewhere.
Right. No, man, I DJ'd like I I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I don't have any plans on it. But I've DJ'd in bars in the Midwest during the late 90s, early 2000s where cigarette smoke was just heavy everywhere. So I'd go
Mhm.
home at 3 o'clock in the morning, smell like an ashtray, and know that and just the smell, like you're like, man, it smells terrible. But yeah, like, I mean, but I've never, if people smoke, I'm like, I don't understand why you do, but that's your choice. Your body, your choice. Go for it. But no, I have no plans to smoke cigarettes, and like you're with
That's right.
you and your tobacco. I
Not
don't get it.
tobacco.
I don't get it, but I'm not gonna give you a hard time about it.
Yeah, I smoked for a long time too. Um, that was my great aunt, who's probably getting real close to taking the long night night. She's old, dog. Like,
Yeah.
but so she used to send me half a carton of Camel filters,
Oh fuck.
like
Yeah.
like when I was deployed, all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah, sure.
because she loves me.
Oh boy.
But oh man, I see. The worst it got was I was smoking like 3 packs a day.
Yikes. So what does your mouth feel like when you smoke that much a day?
Gross.
Oh my god, I don't.
Like you can definitely. There's definitely like a film.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know that I have a film on my mouth when I don't brush my teeth in the morning or whatever, and
Oh yeah, but
I
like
can't
this is
imagine. No way, man.
you know even me being deployed, I was still pretty anal retentive about dental
Bunch of
hygiene.
hate. I mean,
But still, even with that, it's just gross.
no, no, thank you.
See, and a lot of that had to do with me being bored too. Like I was just bored.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I smoked gunpowder.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
I took a round apart,
No, I
and
understand
we
how it
had,
works, sir. I
and
understand how you
then
got to that point. I'm just trying to
well,
figure out why
I'm
your
putting
brain said,
I'm putting a visualization together for people.
"Go
So
for
I'm,
it,
you know,
go for it."
and it was we had one of those old school metal chairs that had the metal tube support at the bottom, like the real thin kind of
Yep,
could be a pipe.
yep.
And I was like, I bet I could just put it right here on the edge and then just light it
Boy.
and smoke it. So yeah, I did that.
And was it everything and more?
No, it was so bad. It's so bad. It burnt so bad.
Oh
It
boy.
hurt. It hurt. It physically just hurt. And I was like, oh yeah, that's why you don't do stuff like that, idiot. You know?
Jesus.
Yeah,
Well, good for you for getting past that point. One and done.
yeah, yeah,
Good deal.
yeah. I definitely was gonna be like, hey guys, you gotta try this.
Um,
You want to see the dumbest shit I've ever done?
yeah.
Come join me on this magical adventure.
So what was the hallucinogen that you spoke of earlier?
Psilocybin, the magic
Psilocybin.
mushroom.
Do you have experience with that?
I do.
And was it under
Not
a helpful context or under a
no,
let's get
no.
fucking hammered?
It was under a let's trip balls.
Yeah.
And the first time I did shrooms was when Avatar had came out.
Yikes.
So a couple friends and I went to go see Avatar at this IMAX theater, and in 3D, and it was the best goddamn thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It's not even being sarcastic. That was the coolest shit. Because so, have you ever taken shrooms?
I have I my only experience was at a Dave Matthews concert, which was I think I wouldn't say I wouldn't put it on the same tab as Avatar, but it was an experience.
Well, so you know, like the ride up and then the peak,
Yep.
right? And then you're just there.
Yep.
So we're doing the ride up, and then we're outside of this theater, and I think it was in L.A. No. Anyway, so we're in Southern California, and I remember we were leaving the spot we were at, and I was noticing the bars on the railing
Yeah.
for the handicap railing started to wave, and I was like, "That's pretty cool." Then we get to the theater, and there's a rose bush, and if you look at a rose in full bloom, the petals like wave at you
Gotcha.
as it starts to come in. I was like, "That's awesome." Yeah. And so we get inside, we get our tickets, and we're just like, and so you know the part in Avatar where he links to the body for the first time?
Yep.
That was when the drug hit me.
Ooh.
That was where my peak was, and from that point on, I was in the movie.
Sure. Oh, I mean, it's fun. I don't know how you could
Like,
not be.
oh, it was amazing. Like the part where he touches that one plant and it sucks into the ground.
Yep.
And I went, oh,
Oh,
right out loud.
Yes.
And then, so we're watching this whole movie, just like, whoa. And there had to be another guy that was on something on the other side of the theater. Because that part where she goes and she picks up his human body,
Yep.
this guy, I don't know, just goes, ah! I was like, that's exactly how we were all feeling.
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
It was everything it needed to be and more. Uh-oh.
So is she staring at you right now? Screaming at you?
No.
Okay.
No. No, it based on it seems like Britt has her in the living room and they're getting ready to watch a movie of some kind.
Okay.
But that's my baby girl. We've been watching so I told you have I told you that we watched all of the Dragon Ball Z that we could?
Yes, yeah, you did.
Okay. Yeah, so she was Kamehameha. And then we watch the
You watched this with your girls.
oh yeah. And then they finally put the territory wrestling, the old school wrestling back on the Peacocks. WWE Network sold their rights to NBC for
On the cock.
like $1 billion or something.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculous amount of money. And well, so we've been watching the territories again.
Gotcha.
So we were trading punches today.
Ooh.
No, but like she was like not hitting me, and I wasn't like not hitting her, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just back and forth. You know. So she'd hit me, and I'd come over and I'd touch her, and she'd
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that does my heart
Right.
just good. I don't think it'll play well with preschool when that comes around. But
Oh, sure. Yeah, she is going to be
I was
the
telling
bully of her class.
I was telling Brittany, I was like, hey, we need to get her in some kind of like martial art as soon as we can, just so she can
harness it.
well, yeah, and learn the discipline behind it. Because this poor kid is so much like me. I was like, look, she doesn't know that she's got the rage, but she's got the rage. And it's my fault because of genetics. But we need to get her into something where she can learn focus and actual discipline sooner than later.
Colleen told me that she took the girls to the wildlife park out in Litchfield Park.
Mhm.
And they had roller coasters. And so she gets my daughters on there, and my oldest is kind of apprehensive. She's, I don't know, da, 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 da. And then she rides with Anna so that way she can be with her. And they get going up to the top of the crest, and Anna goes, Mommy, hands up. Never been on a coaster before. Just
She
ready. She heard other people doing it, saw everybody else raising their hands. Mommy, raise your hands. Smiling big as hell. And then just she said she had her hands up the entire ride. Just all ready. So, yeah, man. She's, we have to do something similar with her because she's 3 years younger than her sister and is way ballsier already at this point. So, it
gotta
should be a little kamikaze, man, if we don't figure something out.
yeah, and it's so. I don't know. I gotta apologize to Brittany so much, like, because she goes, she is so wild. I don't, yeah,
Yeah, she's your daughter, man.
I don't know where that came from. Sounds a little crazy to me. definitely,
Meanwhile,
definitely not my
she goes,
kid.
Daddy, look, and you're just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
So she's learning body control
Yeah,
when she jumps. So it's only a matter of time before she starts figuring out the flip.
Oh boy.
And the head
Has
injuries
she
that are
hurt
gonna.
herself bad yet?
She's had a couple bloody lips,
Okay.
but not like bad. And then I'm such an because I know that if I react to it and give her attention, that she's going to do it more.
Yeah.
Um, so whenever she like falls or does something, I go, "Well, yeah, you did it," and 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 then or like she'll run and jump and like bounce her face off of something, and then she'll, oh, ow, 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 and I'll go, "That was a good one, huh? It was a
Right.
good one. It was a good one."
Oh man.
Because because I know if I feed it,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
I know.
Yeah, and
And
she falls and you just go, whoops,
mm-hmm.
wipe it off, brush it off, dust it off, and she'll wipe her hands and she'll do a shake or shake it off, and she'll just shake a whole bunch, and then what do you do to your knees? And she'll wipe her knees off. Okay, I'm okay. Go right back to it. She
What
got
have
a
we done?
she got a burn or something on her arm. It was always a scrape, and so she had a band-aid on it. And every time we took it off, dude, every time, just dramatics. And then as soon as we got it on, smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Like she can turn the tears on with the best of them.
Got to watch out for those girls.
I'm just like, I'm done. Like, you guys can go ahead and just get this upset about whatever, but I cannot fuel that fire. Because I mean, my wife, she has a different perspective because she's also a girl, so it's like she can
Mm-hmm.
relate to their the extraness. But I'm like, man, you guys are fighting for no reason. You're upset after we did everything you wanted to do, and then it's still just Real Housewives. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, no thanks, man. Work my ass
No.
off all day long, and then this is what I come home to. Nah. So like that text that you sent me yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, or was that earlier today?
Oh, we were talking just. We were in the airport. I
Yeah.
think just
uh,
just everything is loud.
so
Just
how,
loud.
so based off of the text that you sent me, how was your experience with that? Because we have not talked
Looking
about
back
that,
on
correct?
so no, we haven't. Looking back on it, I think I was just frustrated
Okay.
because sitting back and thinking the kids the kids really weren't that bad. Um, After we went and saw my grandma Judy and Mike, we decided to just hit the road,
Okay.
and so we drove up to Chicago that night. And Britt and I had a little disagreement at the Cracker Barrel, but that was it was due to it was a communication issue,
Breakdown.
and
Yeah.
it was because I couldn't hear her, she couldn't hear me. She thought I was saying something else. I thought she was saying something else too. So I got like, and then she got embarrassed and and like felt embarrassed because I was like, "What do you want?" you know,
So you guys are talking to each other from across the table at Cracker Barrel. Is that what's
not
happening?
not even across the table. There
Oh
was
man.
Brittany, then Mila, and then me, and then I'm on. I have just from being on the road and kids playing in the background, and then restaurant noise, and I can't hear anything to save my life right now.
Right.
And then on top of, I have my road shakies because the further north you go in the beautiful state of Illinois, the more dumb folk get on the road.
Sure.
And so we have that going on. And well, anyway, so we eat. We get everyone loaded up. And then we have about an hour to go to get to our hotel. And Marley screams the whole time.
Wow.
And there's really no, and I was like, we just have to push through. I'm not stopping because, at this point it's already 7. So by the time we get the kids all set up and teeth brush and stuff, it's going to be late. And I still have training programs and stuff to write. So we just got to push through.
Yeah.
And I went into like dead silent, almost serial killer mode, I guess. Because, man, like it was chaos, dude.
Yeah.
But on the grand scheme of things, we were out of state for 5 days. Like we left Thursday morning at 5, and then we got home Monday afternoon. And really, grand scheme, whole big picture, like those kids were really good.
Besides those
The
two.
kids were, yeah. Besides, I mean, but like the one thing was definitely my issue in trying to cope with anxieties of things.
Sure.
But I mean, the kids were really good that whole trip. One thing that did happen is one of my mother's dogs bit Mila.
Ooh.
And
How'd you react to that?
well, I came in when I got inside. Mom had already got her leg pulled up and was getting things wiped up and cleaned up. And Braun bit Mila, and I went, "What?
Yeah.
Trying to like put stuff together because Braun is the dog. He's a Basset Hound Rottweiler mix. Okay.
Okay.
So imagine a smaller Rottweiler head with a little bit of a longer nose, long Basset Hound body, but the width of a Rottweiler, but also height of a Basset Hound.
Yeah.
And this dog, I've told my mom repeatedly, like since she got him, I was like, hey, one day you're going to come home and he's going to be gone, and it's because he's in a car ride with me on the way back to my house.
Yeah.
Because the moment she got this dog, he was instantly like my buddy. Like he slept with me. Like, so when she was like, yeah, but he's been getting, and then she goes into this whole, well, he's been getting really aggressive lately. Like he bit his groomer, and he's been having these behavioral issues. And I went,
And this is your mother you're talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so how it has always worked at my parents' house is no matter what time it is, no matter where it is, you can always walk through the back gate and through the back slider door.
Okay.
Period. Like you don't need to knock, you just come on in. That's how it's been since the dawn of time. That's why Derek and Allison are my siblings, because they took full advantage of that. Sometimes Derek still just shows up at my parents' house and they come home and he's sitting there in the living room,
Not creepy.
Well, I mean,
Just the
Mom's had it.
unexpectedness.
Yeah, Mom's had to tell him, like, hey, how about you call us next time?
Yeah.
Just at least let us know. But so we told the kids when they got out, hey, just go on up. You know which gate to walk in. And so that's what they did. They just walked to the back gate, and he was like, not today, bitch.
Damn. Right
and
away.
on it's on her knee, like her kneecap,
Yeah.
and she has the perfect indent, like skin broke.
Oh fuck.
Like she has the perfect front teeth indent in her knee. What are you doing, baby? What are you doing? Help you? I'm working. But
Oh,
yeah, man.
man.
So mom's like, yeah, we're gonna put him down. I went,
Dang.
I'm working, okay?
In case you're new to the program, that is Jake's daughter, Ruthless. Uh,
Who lives up to her name?
and she is attached to this gentleman's hip. So
That's
she
my
is
buddy.
she is not a fan of us doing the show at bedtime.
No, because bedtime is bedtime. But no, where was I? Yeah, so it's like I want to be mad at my mom.
How old is the dog? Did you
Oh,
say
he's like 4 or
4?
5.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not old at all.
No, no, he's not an old dog. But like, I guess he's been showing signs of getting more territorial
Right.
and he's already been neutered, all shots updated, went to obedience school a couple times. He's a certified comfort animal,
Okay.
not just for mom. Like she used to bring him. So my mom works with abused kids, and so like he used to come and sit at the office and play with all of these little kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and she's, well, yeah, I had to quit bringing him to the office because he started to get protective of me. I said, oh, okay. That's, no, but like that. So that initial statement, you're like, oh, that makes sense. There's too much noise. He thinks you're in danger. There's anxiety behind that.
Right.
Okay. And then come to find out that she has a groomer come over to do all the dog's nails and cut Max's hair, the little dog. And he bit this lady when she was cutting his nails. And then he has to be put away when she comes because he will not let her in the house. And then, and then he bit my kid.
Right.
and it's without a doubt, if I would have seen it,
Murder.
that would have been a dead dog right there.
Oh boy.
Or like if he would have bit me, because he's got that Rottweiler big thick neck, but I would have broke that damn thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't have my firearm because I didn't want to fly with it.
Sure.
Also, Illinois gun laws are weird, so.
And the TSA sure is best friends with that.
Well, so if you fly with, you have to like
Yeah,
state you're flying. You
Yeah.
can do it. It's a whole process, but I was like, man, and then it was like he knew he was in trouble and wouldn't go in his kennel and was trying to hide under the table.
Yep. Well,
And so
I told you about my German Shepherd that I had when I was younger. She started getting, and she was like, I think like 8 or 9 years old. For German Shepherds, that's pretty good length of time. And I was playing with her, just like we always did, and just roughhousing with her or whatever. and she was on my and I put her up on my bunk bed, which is not a smart move just on paper, but
Mhm.
um, yeah, I definitely put her on the bunk bed and then proceeded to put my face in between the rails, like as we're playing or whatever, right? And so she didn't approve, and she wanted to let me know, so she snapped my nose, but she didn't like close all the way. She did it enough to let me know, no, thank you, and then let me go. And of course, my shock at the time, oh, she bit me, da da da. But I didn't tell anybody because I knew it was my fault. And
Mhm.
so, but it wasn't long after that that she started having seizures, and she just got, you know, into the thick of being an older dog, and that was my first experience seeing that shit. That's just, I don't know if that shit gets any easier.
Mhm.
That was
No,
not a pleasant
dude. So,
experience.
well, I've told you about Flash One, right?
Yeah,
Ugh. So, like, I wasn't. I wouldn't have even got this dog if I would have seen him at first, because it was just straight up. These people were just trying to pawn this dog off as he was dying because they didn't want to put him down.
right.
But I put that dog down, and holy shit, was I crying like a baby. I didn't have this dog for a year,
Yeah,
but that was like my homie. And then he, like, so as I'm taking him to the vet after he like ripped his tumor open and almost bled to death,
yeah,
this fucking dog's comforting me on the way to his death. Like,
yeah,
oh, oh.
yeah.
But I'm not doing that with Cleo.
What does that mean?
I'm not taking her. We're not doing the vet thing.
Taking her out this old Yeller
Yeah, but with like
with
more
decency.
cheese, with more cheeseburgers and happy times.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll set
But
them up for the final hurrah.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's because like I would rather do it because I think I'd be okay with it
sure.
that way. I'd be because it's. I understand you've been my dog since not birth, but pretty much the beginning, and
Right.
I'm setting you free.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna go and have some burgers and go see some of the nice public land that Arizona still has to offer.
And then how are you doing the deed? Like, are you giving him the pill?
No, I'm just gonna pop her in the back of the head.
Oh man. Uh, you'll be all right with that?
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. I mean, well, you saw the
like
other side of that, so
I mean, like I like it's gonna suck, but when it when it comes to, I think it's because we're gonna do our morning before, you know.
no, no, no. I'm just talking about.
Oh, the mess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. I've never shot anything close blank, point blank range, so I don't know what the mess is going to be like. I'm assuming there'll be some, but
Hmm. Well, so I'll probably layer in the hole. I'll probably dig the hole first.
so she's going to be looking up at you.
No,
And you hold her face
no,
down.
no, 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 because at
uh,
at that point, she's gonna be like old, and like I'm probably gonna have to carry her out to the middle of
got you,
somewhere.
got you. Okay, yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know,
I'm making sure. I'm making it sound like she's
yeah,
well.
yeah.
No.
But yeah, no, I mean, because when it gets to the point when it's time for her to go, it's going to be time,
Yeah.
not like I'm not going to like let her live suffering, but like it's definitely not going to be a well, life's over, time to go, dog.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a oh
Yep.
okay, and and it's she's got a few she's got a few years left in her, so she's doing good. She still runs the yard. She doesn't put up with shit. Those puppies. She does not fuck around. So when she, I think once she quits running the yard is when preparations are going to have to start being made.
Sure.
But yeah, we did a thing this time where I set up. They had a bunch of water, and we got a food container to where they just push their head in and they can get a bite of food.
Yeah.
This bitch, and I know it's the case. This bitch, the whole time we were gone, would not let Loki or Ginger eat.
Wow. Just a dick about it.
Well, we'll see because we came back and Loki's already a small dog, but he was just like skinny.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure something else out. But man, so I mean, it's a sign that she's still got it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But that kind of stuff can't slide.
Yeah, yeah,
gotta,
yeah,
let, gotta let the other dogs eat. The the Flash was okay, so there's that. I guess they get along pretty well.
yeah. No, I'm good on one dog. One dog is plenty for me right now.
Well, how so how Loki fell into our lap was unintentional, and then Brittany got me a Basset Hound for my first Father's Day, which that is officially a Howard tradition now that I am the second generation to carry that on.
Yeah.
And then Brittany really wanted her dog. She wanted a dog that was hers. And, don't tell her, but I let Ginger inside today with Loki, and that dog was like, "Sup, best friend."
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna leave your side. You're great.
Well, I mean, with my dog, like, I didn't even go to pick him out. Like, they went and played with several dogs and was at the pound and blah blah blah, and it was just like, I don't know. I guess it's my previous experience with having dogs or whatever, but it's like that thing. It goes to my wife and jumps up on her, scratches her leg probably every day. She gets upset, blah blah blah. He comes over to me, tries to do the same thing. No, stop, blah blah blah. But he doesn't let me give him loving. He only lets me wrestle with him. So
Huh.
like I'll pet him and have him next to me, and he'll start wagging his tail, and he'll just like nip at my hand, and then he'll put his nose underneath it and try and like get me to play with him. And then as soon as we do, it's fucking WrestleMania, man. That dude is
Mm-hmm.
he loves to wrestle around, but he only does it with
It's
me.
it's it's so weird. Like all of the dogs will come up and they'll let me they'll let me love on them, but none of the dogs want to wrestle. It's they get I don't want to say scared, but it's definitely like a timid thing happens,
Sure.
and it confuses me because like really the only dog that would have any like beef with me that I understand would be Flash, because he just would not potty train, and so we had to go into the old school nose in it, slap on the side of the head,
Sure.
no outside, and he has not forgiven me. I guess is the way to put that. But I mean, we're cool now, but it took a while. But like if I just walk outside and I step outside in a dominant manner,
Yeah.
he's already laying on his back,
Paws up. Yep.
and I'm like, hey man, I'm just here to pick up your shit. it's it, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. It's he Dre is like, and I mess him up. Like I don't play nice with him. Like when he start, because he'll nip at me when he gets annoyed that I've figured out whatever his little go-to moves are, and so then he'll just get more
Hmm.
aggressive, and so then I'll get more aggressive. He'll get more aggressive, and since we are the only male energy in the house, it feels like he's testing the boundaries all the time. So I'm just like, all right, I'll give you this reminder. It's a reminder that this is my house and that you're gonna follow along. And he has his moments.
Hmm.
He has his moments where he turns it up and he's all in. You know how dogs have that little thing where they just start running around for no reason. So he's
Hmm.
got all that, but it's like aggression. It's him coming after me. And I'm like, okay, get it out. Then as soon as he's got it out, I punk him and I'm like, okay, let me put you right back where you need to know where you need to be. And he usually just I usually use my body weight, and so I'll just like I won't sit on him, but I'll keep him immobile, and
Yeah.
that'll set him off more than anything. And then as soon as I let him up, he like puts his ears back and he tries to give me a kiss. I'm like, all right, we're good.
Well, it's Cleo's the only one that'll wrestle with me, and I don't get it because out of all of those dogs, she's probably the only one that's had a not exactly picturesque good dog life.
Sure.
I mean, for well, really most of her life now has been pretty good, but in the beginning, a little shaky. Somebody was drunk and on drugs a lot.
Oh, got you, got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, but she'll come inside and it's less often now. But she'll come inside and she'll roar, roar, roar. Like, she'll tell me like, "Get up, bitch." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, all right, here we go."
But
and you
that's
know, and I'll her mouth. You know what I mean?
yep.
And that's about as far as we go. And then she'll get tired of that and be like, "All right," and then she'll go and lay down.
Yeah. No man, I love being able to wrestle with my dog. Like can't do that shit with a cat.
Mm-mm.
Cannot. And I've come across some relatively cool cats that will, do the slap boxing with you or will do it without any harm. But then most of the cats they want to fuck you all kinds of up. So
Hmm.
you can't do that.
My so I'm allergic to cats. But I had to have developed this allergy later. But my parents had a cat when I was a kid, and his name was Turbo, and he was just obviously inbred, not not good animal. And one day, because cats are they're fickle creatures as it is, and then
Fuck cats, bro.
they'll and they're like, "Pet me, okay, I'm over it,"
Fuck cats, bro.
right? Well, my dad was petting this cat, and so like right hand petting the cat, left hand on his leg. This cat was like, "I'm over this." He went from like purring, happy, and then just bit him, and didn't like bite and let go, but like bit and clamped down. So my dad, in a more fast motion, full 360s arm swoop, and threw this cat off of him, and it landed and dislocated its hip, and then was hiding under my crib, just
No, thank you.
yeah,
They
not
always talk about cats and how they were looked up to in Egypt. Like y'all got it wrong.
Well, so it was dogs were domesticated by man.
Right.
Cats domesticated themselves.
Ooh. Okay.
That's why they're not subservient.
Gotcha. So they domesticated themselves because it would just be easier.
It was just easier than hunting all the time.
Respect.
And then that's
But,
why
but still fuck
cat
cats.
yeah, cats are. I'm not a cat guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But anywho, so flying wasn't bad with the girls. Flying wasn't bad with the big kids. Um, it was just, and I understand it's going to be every trip we take from here on out. At least until the kids are big, big. But man, like I wouldn't exactly call that a relaxing vacation we went on.
Sure.
Um, and once again, it wasn't because Brittany and I actually got to go out to dinner.
Yeah,
I
I
took
saw
her
that.
to the finest Italian dining in Sunnyland.
Hey yo.
That's only funny if you're from Washington, uh, my my hometown. So where I grew up was like white trash and poor folk.
Sure.
Okay, so the Palanza's restaurant has been there for ever, and so it's a staple in Sunnyland culture. So basically, I took my wife to the least messed up place in town.
So you guys got to enjoy yourself for that, or no?
We did, yeah, yeah, because this was after the dog incident. But
Gotcha.
so the whole thing was Brittany's like, I think I'm going to take Mila home, and I was like, with us, and I was like, okay, probably a good idea. And then we asked her, here's where I'm actually upset with my mom. So we asked Milo when we get back, well, do you still want to stay here, or do you want to um, come back to the Airbnb with us? And she goes, I think I'll stay. Okay, that's fine. We come back the next day, and I get I get inside first, and Braun is out of his kennel. Oh, hi, hello, hello. And I looked at my dad and I said, "Get this dog outside
Ooh.
right now."
Nice.
Like before my wife comes in here, get this dog out.
Gotcha.
Because mom was like, "Okay, just be sure to use the front door." And yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Just not thinking of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I come inside and here's this dog. Oh, hi, buddy. Oh, hi. It's been a while. How you been? Like, motherfucker. Like, so I understand what what's going on. My mom is a dog person, loves this dog, doesn't want this dog to die, doesn't want her dog to be seen as a kid biting vicious attack animal.
Sure.
So like I understand, but like, in what world did you think that my wife and I would be cool with that?
Yeah.
Well, and then I come in there and I'm telling her, and I was like, why is he inside? What the hell? She goes, well, hey, after you guys left, we let him out to go outside, and he just walked up to Milo and was he was just super cuddly, and
Now, so now they're best bite buds.
yeah, But I was like, no, no.
Parenting styles differ, sir.
And I don't know. Like, what in your say same situation happened with you?
Yep.
How would you react?
How would I react to coming into the house as normal with no heads up and her dog biting my child?
Well, yeah, and then all that has happened,
And so
and
I
then
go in the house.
you come back the next day. That dog is hanging out with your kid.
Um, I mean, why was Milo hanging out with the dog again?
Well,
Because he loves
so
dogs.
Mila, Mila is
Milo, I'm sorry.
it's okay. She's a straight up just animal lover,
Okay.
right? Like she's talked about how she wants to be a vet and stuff and
Yep.
all this. So, like, I could get where she's like wanting to see the best in the situation,
Yeah.
or not really understanding what the situation is or could have been,
Yeah.
which I think is more of the case. Something where an adult should have been like, maybe you shouldn't hang out with that dog.
Right. Right. Right.
Or
Right.
I'm not going to let this dog out of its kennel other than to go to the bathroom and back into the kennel until you're not in my home.
But you also have to understand that your mom doesn't see her dog as a threat. Even with that being the case, like she'll, it'll be, oh, Mila spooked him or whatever,
Well,
right?
right. But then it's like, well, now that he's bit the groomer and one of your grandchildren.
Sure. Oh, no, there's habitual line stepping, absolutely.
So,
But as we were talking about, like you said, you love your dog and you only had it for a year, right?
yeah.
How long has she had hers, dog?
Oh, 4 or 5 years on top
Okay.
of all the, I mean, like, so I get the dog love thing,
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that she's going to make an
but
excuse for the behavior.
of course,
Yeah, that's all.
but I want to know what your reaction would be
No, my reaction would be the
if
same thing. Would be if I came if I came so you came home from your date.
no, no, we came back from the date and because we left Marley and Ruth there, so we actually had dinner by ourselves,
Right.
and so Mila decided that she wanted to stay, and then so we came back the next morning to get her before we went to
I see. Okay.
and just like
So I would walk in and I would have the same feeling. I'd be like, why, if this dog bit you yesterday, why? Apart from the fact that asking your daughter why hanging out with the dog, but your mom,
well
like,
she wasn't like snuggled up to him or anything. It was just they were in the same room.
yeah,
I mean, at this point in time, they were like far apart from each other. But
yeah.
um, it's the
Well, I will say
why.
this. I will say this. At my house, my girls know not to lay on the floor with the dog because he has no control over himself and he will see that he has the higher ground and he'll immediately go
Mhm.
over and it's usually harmless, but they won't allow it to stay harmless. They'll make a lot of noise or they'll push him away or do whatever to make it turn into a game to where he's now just on top of them playing. But um, if I see them and they know, they'll play with him and they'll get in his face and they'll rub on him. But if they see me come in the room, I say, get up off the floor. If he bites you, it's your fault. because he's only reacting to you like this because you're on his level. The moment you stand up, he reacts to you differently. So they're giving him that power they're giving him the power over them by being as low or lower than him on the ground. And more often than not, you'll hear one of them start, they'll get hit, or he'll snap at them, or he'll play too rough. And
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a problem. And I'm just like, and so my same answer to that is, you know what he's going to do. You know not to be on the floor. So with Mila having been bit and then coming back, it's like, well, you know better now. So if you
Mm-hmm.
get bit again, there's not gonna be Captain Safe. It'll be shoulder shrug, but still
Yeah.
take care of
Right.
her.
Right. I was talking about like more. What would your reaction to your mother be?
It'd be stank face.
Yeah.
Be like, are you fucking serious? Like, why would you allow that to happen? Oh well, I didn't. Yeah, and that's what it always boils down to. It's less about pointing the finger and making them feel bad for the obvious negligence, but just so that they admit to it out loud. That you
Mm-hmm.
both understand that you made a poor choice. That's it. Because my mom is my mom and she's going to do what she's going to do. But I'm not going to let her go without understanding what it means.
Listen, that's my thing too. Is my mother is definitely her own person, a little on the eccentric side.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to make excuses because there really isn't any. But I guess I understand.
Yeah. And it's her house, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I have agency over her affairs at her house. Like it's simply be an understanding that you shouldn't have allowed that to happen, or you put them in a compromised position. All right, I won't let it happen again. Cool. Keep it moving. Because otherwise, it has the potential to turn into some shit you don't go back to your mom's house over.
Right.
I don't want that to be the case.
No, and I'm not saying that my parents are bad grandparents or anything like that. It's just a very trying time,
Sure,
I suppose.
sure. Yeah,
But yeah,
those long trips are usually like that.
we partied pretty hard though.
That's
Let me
good.
tell you.
You probably needed that, right?
No, we didn't party hard at all. I walked in. As I was telling Brittany the whole time, she's like, "Well, I want to do this. I want to do. I want to. Let's go see if we can see these people. Let's see if we can. Um, let's see if we can meet up with these people, these other states." And I was like, "Listen, we're gonna show up here. I'm gonna go where I'm told. I'm gonna say hi to people that I haven't seen in years
Yep.
because I'm not trying to poo poo on your parade, but I'm the son that always ran away.
Gotcha.
So when I come home, it's an event, right?
Yeah.
So it's mom was like, well, I tried to plan this thing where uh, it was everyone got together and we didn't have to do the individual houses thing. And I went, no. And because you know, both Grandpa had a bunch of stuff he wanted to show me that he's given me
Yeah.
when the time comes,
Right.
which is sad. He was trying to break me all night and make me cry like a girl. But but so I mean that was like the first thing we did. We went over and had dinner with at Grandma and Grandpa Howard's house. Then of course Grandma Judy and Mike they wanted us to come over and have lunch or something too.
Yep.
And Mom was like, well, that's why I was just trying to do this. You know, everyone just gets together here for this picnic thing, just so you guys wouldn't feel obligated to uh,
I think that happens every time anyway.
right. And I said, and well, see, and it was she was getting guilt tripped by the grandmas
Ooh.
because what if this is the last time we see him? What if this is, because I only go back like once every 5 years or so, or if there's a wedding or a funeral. So that's not really too often anymore.
Sure. I'm the same way.
Because I got out of there for a reason, and that is it.
Yeah, I just
So
so as much as they want to guilt trip and say, "Oh, well, he's only going to be here," blah blah blah. It's like, well, if you were worth being here longer, then I would be here more often.
right, we'll see,
And
and then
it's not them; it's the place.
yeah, and my thing is too is I also knew that this was something like that was coming.
Yeah,
Like they didn't need to guilt trip my mom about any of that because I knew that was coming.
yeah,
I didn't tell anybody, any of the people I knew that I was coming back into town, except for my boy JD.
yeah. I
And
never know how things are going to go down, so I don't want to make promises to people and then not see them after having not seen them for years already.
well, so I said, "Hey, man, we're pretty tied up doing family stuff. Why don't you come to this picnic get together thing that mom has set up?" And those bastards didn't come.
Ooh,
He's married and he's got 2 kids on his own. Like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
mad at him.
yeah.
He's I can't remember the name of the company he works for, but he's he's the CEO now.
Damn,
So his weekends are his weekends.
big tings. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I'm not. He's like, sorry, I couldn't make it. I was like, dude, like, you're doing everything. You're working everything you can to make Peoria a travel worthy place. Like I couldn't be mad at you even if I was.
Yeah.
Like, you've taken on quite the burden, sir.
Yep.
Come to Peoria, see where Caterpillar World headquarters is, and enjoy some of our finer strip clubs and drugs. Here's some crime that is comparable to Chicago.
Yeah.
Welcome. You can get shot just like in Chicago, but with way less stuff to do.
Oh man, I just took my headphones out. Did you say something to me?
No, I was
Okay.
just making it. I was saying, come to Peoria. You can get shot just like in Chicago, but with way less stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah,
It's beautiful here. Have you seen the beautiful Illinois River? It's brown.
Oh, where
But yeah, that was my trip.
5. That sounds like the normal family trip.
Yeah.
Midwestern.
Where we at?
Return to home trip. We are at 1 hour and 30 minutes, sir.
Oh,
It is 9:05.
it's nap time.
Well, sounds like Ruthless finally went down.
She's down,
Yeah.
for sure.
Good. All right, sir. Well, you want to go ahead and close this out?
Yes,
To our
sir.
respective families.
Yeah, we got dad shit to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for listening.
No,
Once
you're
again,
welcome.
I'm Jake. Yeah. Once again, I'm Jake Howard,
And I am DJ Squirrel, aka the Grand Chameleon.
not the Grand Dragon.
Correct.
It's been a while.
No wizardry, no dragons.
It's been a while. I had to.
I don't think anybody's forgotten. I don't think anyone has forgotten.
all
If they're paying attention.
all one of our regular listener that comes
El Uno, correct.
that isn't us. Well, have a good night, everybody.
You do the same, sir. Peace out.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.